Hello, I'm Veronica Torres, and I'm so happy to be joined by Terri Beuthin tonight, and we're going to have a super cool conversation about something that I knew nothing about 2 weeks ago, and I'm totally excited about now, and that is essential oils, which, trust me, I thought they were just like perfume. I had no idea they were anything other than they smelled good and you sprinkled them around the house to make things nicer. I really thought that's what they were all about, and I was extremely mistaken. So Terri has been introducing me not only to the properties that they have that are supporting people be healthy and heal things and just have a better life, but what I'm learning is about their energetic power. And I'm so blown away by the fact that when I pick up these oils, I'm having a huge reaction just holding the bottle. And, I've always been energetically sensitive, mostly to people and emotions and the way people navigate the world. And that's been something that I've shared a lot about in my other videos. And this has turned into something where I'm tapping into an extraordinary, potentized energetic that's actually constructive and supportive and helpful and exciting and very, very cool. So we're going to talk about that today. We're also going to do some really cool stuff where Terri's going to hand me oils that I have not touched or smelled or know anything about, and we'll see what my energetic reaction is to their emanation. So Terri, thank you so much for joining me and talking about this very cool thing.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the oils that you work with.
So I work only with the doTERRA oils, and some of you may be familiar with them because there's a lot of people that are, but they are exceptionally pure. I worked with a lot of oils in the past or used a lot of oils in the past. I didn't work with them, but I used them. And the first time I encountered the doTERRA oils, I had a similar reaction to you. I could feel immediately that there was an energy to them that I hadn't encountered before. And so I immediately wanted to know more and to work with them and learn about them. And so I used them for myself for about 1.5 years and my family. And then I realized they'd sort of infiltrated my life and everything that I used to turn other places for, I was now turning to the oils for, and they were helping me with everything, emotional, physical, mental, whatever was going on. I could find an oil that could help. So then I started working with other people with them and helping people find solutions. And the company itself began with a commitment to purity and quality that is unmatched in any other oil company. They really go above and beyond. And they source their oils from where the plants grow indigenously around the world. So they really do have the optimum kind of growing conditions and molecular makeup to ensure that they're the most potent they can be. And I think that's part of the reason why they're so powerful.
Yeah, I was reading or watching a video, I don't remember which it was, and I believe, if I'm remembering this right, it takes 60 pounds of lavender flowers to make a teeny little bottle of lavender oil.
Right.
So you're concentrating the essence of nature in its various forms. And what I'm realizing is it potentizes the energetic, the emanation. And for folks that are interested in feeling the energy and feeling that emanational force from various sources, I have never found anything like this. I mean, I'm totally blown away. And you'll get to see in a couple minutes what happens when I touch the oils. Now, I know that not everybody is as sensitive as I am in that way. However, what I'm saying is that these are loud. The energetic of these oils is very loud, and I have not found anything else that has such a clear signal that people can use, not only for all these wonderful things that you're talking about, but to become more energetically aware or become sensitive to emanation from other things. And because these are all natural plants and trees and shrubs and bushes and who knows what else,
herbs, seeds. Yeah.
It's, a lot of people talk about how they're more comfortable opening to their sensitivities, opening to their psychic awareness, or however you want to phrase it, with nature. Well, here, this is like a whole orchard in a bottle, a whole, a chunk of forest in a bottle. And I keep saying it because it's true. I was just shocked. I have this, you gave me this beautiful little, see this cute little thing? And inside, whoops, there we go, are these teeny little bottles. Can you see? Teeny, teeny little bottles. And Liz, who's here with Terry also, she just put 5 drops of 6 or 7 or something different oils in these little teeny bottles. And 5 drops, not even opening the bottle, I had extremely powerful reactions and responses to the emanation of these oils. That's how intense it is. So again, not everybody experiences them that way, but it's an indicator of the power that they have. Right. That's in there.
Yeah, it's very fun to watch her have because they all do something completely different to you.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. We've talked about maybe half a dozen of them so far. Before we turned on the camera, we were having burritos and having a nice chat, and we're passing a couple of them around, and each of them I had a very strong and very different reaction to. One of the funniest one was peppermint. This was the other day. Liz had given me 5 drops of peppermint, and I opened up the cap. That one I did open. I opened up the cap, and I took just the smallest smell, and I said, we are going to have a problem. You are a pushy, pushy oil. You are pushy, and you're bossy, and you're bossing me around, and I am not into this. And I put the cap back on, and it was like, it was like having a conversation with the energetic of 5 drops of oil, which, because I was home alone and this was happening out loud, was pretty entertaining for me anyway. But I realized that what a great carrier that must be for other oils to help them. I felt like it was putting wheels on the car to carry the other oils into, the skin or to the air or whatever. So that was really fun. I'm probably never going to be able to have a candy cane with the same thought, even though I've never had that reaction to a candy cane, but I think I'm going to have an association like bossy candy cane, bossy candy cane. But like I said, never before in my life have I had these kinds of reactions to smells, ever.
Well, and the oils that you get in candy canes are food grade oils, so they have the flavor and the smell, but they don't have any therapeutic properties. So it makes sense you wouldn't feel that.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. The other one that was really powerful for me and got me started thinking that these oils could be helpful on an energetic level was, how do you say,
Melaleuca.
Melaleuca, which is also known as tea tree oil. That might be a more common name for folks that have heard of that one before. And when I picked up the tea tree oil and I was like, whoa, boundaries. Like boundaries, not boundaries, boundaries. I mean, shocking at how bold and forceful and energetically saying, this is where my line in the sand is. And I work with so many people who have such trouble knowing how to set a boundary or knowing what boundaries are or why you would need them, but they're overrun by the energy of other people and it's affecting all kinds of their health and their relationships all the time. And that was the one that made me think, Terri, we got to have a conversation about this because this might be energetically really, really supportive. It just makes so much. When I found out that the known use for it is for skin, I was like, absolute. I mean, that made complete energetic sense to me, the idea that we're looking at something that can support that barrier, which the skin, of course, is the ultimate boundary. I mean, it keeps your gushy parts in and your not gushy parts out, right? And so I thought that was just an extraordinary correlation.
Yeah.
And that was just the beginning of the correlations we have discovered as we have continued this conversation. So we're going to do some oils that I don't know anything about and see just what happens when I hold them. You guys can see what happens when I hold them right along with us.
Right.
Do you want to hand me one?
Yeah.
I don't even
so
look.
we've got the 10 most used oils here.
Oh, good.
So these are the ones that most families, most households will have around, and they all do a variety of different things. So we're going to see if you can pick up on some of them. All
okay,
right.
good.
So
don't tell me what it is.
Okay.
We'll just hand it to. I'm looking away.
Okay, so we'll try this one.
Okay, so you can see I can't see it. Yeah, that is a good tea moment. So immediately I start this twitching thing, right, which has always been an indicator of having new energy coming through my body. So that's right away. This is a strong one. So whew. See, there's this drop-in feeling, right? So I'm feeling it across here, and there's just a sense of dropping in. Once the initial influx of energy, I was able to process that a little bit. I just feel like I'm dropping in, slowing down. I feel a little sleepy even. Like I feel like my head's nodding a little bit. And there's just a sense of like I would hold this one before I went to bed. Like I want to hold on this one, you know, like in a few hours when it's nighttime. That feels really nice. And just a sense of sleepy time. It just feels sleepy time.
You want to know what it is? It's lavender.
Oh, is it lavender?
So that is one of the most wonderful, relaxing,
that's lavender. Yeah.
calming. That's exactly what people use it for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sleepy time.
There you go.
Yeah. Woo. Wow. That was. Yeah.
I won't let you smell it because you might.
No, we definitely. But see how I initially had that sort of jerking and stuff. I've noticed that with some of these oils is that the initial hit is very strong.
Well, that's really interesting because I know that for especially very sensitive children, lavender can actually have the opposite effect. It can really hype them up. So it must carry both of those frequencies and sort of balance itself out somehow. But it can
go the other way.
Yeah.
We'll see as we go through these because this is the most that we've done this, right? And so we'll see if each of them gives me those sort of shake feelings. Maybe they won't. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll just see. But it felt to me like I was sort of taking a new energy on board and then sorting it out within myself. And then once I did that, I immediately felt that very sleepy. It was so relaxing. Oh my gosh. I was really surprised. I'm like, okay, I got to keep that one in mind. All right. I'll close my eyes. You can give me another one. This is so fun. Okay. So here we go with this next one. So you see, I immediately sat. There was this. I just let my body kind of have its reaction. So there was immediate sort of sitting taller in the chair. Now I'm feeling this one across sort of this part of my body, you know, across the neck and the tops of my shoulders. Yeah, there's this like, I feel sort of ready to take it on. I could take on the day, you know, like showing up, job interview, like I've got this sort of a feeling, like here I go. Ooh, I'm getting the chills as I say that part. Hang on. Yeah, now my eyes feel, I mean, I was just feeling sleepy from the lavender. Now I feel like ready. I can do this. I am ready. This is me. Here I am, ready to go. You want to hire me. You want me on your team. That kind of a feeling. Yeah. Yeah. Just marching. It's like it's got like a marching feeling.
Okay, so this is frankincense.
Frankincense. Oh.
And it was so interesting to see you sit up because they call this the king of the oils. So you got very regal. And it is a workhorse. You can put anything with frankincense and it will increase its potency. So so it's an oil that when you look at it, when you look at its molecular makeup, it's very broad spectrum. So it's got a lot going on, and And so it does a lot, and it helps other oils do a lot. So it's a very, very sort of capable present. I'm ready to go.
Oh,
Let's do this.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, frankincense is one that I have held before, but the last time I smelled it, and I remember when I smelled that one, I immediately felt a sense of my innate wisdom come up. And it felt like it really connected me to history in a way. And because I knew I was holding frankincense that time, I wondered, you know, because like frankincense is in the Bible, and I wondered if I had some preconceived notions about that. But my initial hit when I actually smelled it that last time was also that it may be very powerful for clearing lineage issues. So some people come to me and they talk about how they feel a sense of responsibility for their whole maternal line, for instance, or the things that their family has gone through over time. And I was wondering if frankincense might be powerful for those people, because it felt like it has something felt to me, not this time, but when I smelled it and I had more, you know, the bigger interaction with it before, it really felt like it could, again, that connecting with your own wisdom. That's the same sort of thing I was just saying, like, I've got this, right? Connecting with my own sovereignty, maybe is the right word. And then that freeing, because this is such an ancient thing. It really, when you smell it, it just feels like you're smelling like 1,000, 2,000 years worth of history, that it could allow you to claim your sovereignty in the context of your history, maybe is a way to say it. Ooh, chills from that one.
It's such a it's such a hardy sort of sovereign tree in a way. When you see a picture of frankincense,
I've never seen it.
Tree, it's amazing. It grows, you know, obviously like in the deserts of the Far East and Middle East, and it's so very rocky terrain, very barren, and this tree it looks like a scrubby sort of, not very impressive looking, just like it's really hanging on there, like it's surviving. And it's quite hard to get the resin. It's a very challenging job, and the tree, so I feel in some ways like that capacity of the tree to survive in those harsh conditions is part of what gets passed to us energetically. It helps us thrive and survive and be strong and alone and, you know, capable in very, very trying conditions.
Makes sense. Plus it just smells incredible.
It does. It smells amazing.
It's such a complex smell.
Yeah. It is, and it's ancient. It does. It feels like it opened a tomb. And
that is exactly what it is. Yes. All right, let's do another one. This is so fun. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, God, what's this one? I don't even want to close my hand. You guys can look. What have you given me? I'm spinning it in my hand because I don't want to hold it closed. Oh, boy. Okay, let me see if I can. I'm just balancing it now because I don't want to close my hand on it. Woo, powerful. What is this one? Let's see.
There's like 4 drops in the bottom.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can route that extra energy someplace else so I can try to find the essence of it. Okay. All right, let me see. Sometimes they're just so strong for me. I can't get to what they're doing because I can't calm my nervous system enough to hold them.
Yeah.
Now my hand is totally tingling, so can you take it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So now I'm shaking my hand because it's totally tingling. Let's see if I can. Ooh, wow. This is what I mean about the emanation of these oils, is like, even if you're not energetically sensitive, if it's making me have this huge of a reaction, it's likely that folks that aren't as energetically sensitive can still perceive the emanation of these on some level. And but for me, I've literally never found anything that makes my hand do that. And there's, 10 of them here, and who knows how many of them will do that. It's just so exciting. Because I so often talk to people who wish they could feel energy. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, Yeah. All right, let me see if I can get to a point where that one is not freaking out my... I don't think I can. It's too strong.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because I just haven't had a lot of practice at doing it. You guys are seeing this really live. Let me see. Let me try again. Hang on.
What about if you touch me and I'm holding it?
Let's try that. We'll try anything. I love how you come up with these ideas. And I have to close my eyes to do it too. Okay, so we'll see if this is working. I find myself as if I'm gazing across a landscape. I felt my eyes doing this, like picture going across, back and forth, just taking it in, almost like not a sentinel. I don't know why I'm using the word sentinel, but almost like a guard that's just scanning the horizon, seeing if there are threats, seeing if there's any mischief that needs to be dealt with, just sort of scanning, back and forth, back and forth. Let's see, we'll do some more. Oh, not that hand, the empty hand. I can see her with, I'm like, I'm touching that hand. Hold your other hand. Let me see if now that I kind of feel like I'm connecting to it a little bit. Yeah, and there's a sense of that sort of guard feeling also has a sense of like, the aloneness of being the sentry. You know, when you're on guard duty, you're kind of out there, you're responsible for a lot of people, but you're on guard duty by yourself, looking around. And so there's a sense of like the silent watcher, the observer, the protector, the sentinel. That word sentinel, I don't know if I've ever even said that word out loud in my whole life, but sentinel. My hand's still tingling. Yeah, that's all I get. That one was hard. Yeah, what do you think? What is it?
Lemon.
It's lemon.
It's lemon.
You know what's interesting is it I should have said it out loud because it felt yellow, but I didn't. I was like, whatever, we're not doing colors. But what's so interesting about lemon too is that when I smelled it before, when I had the other bottle, the little bottle with 5 drops in it, when I smelled the lemon, I had such an immediate response in my lungs. I told you this earlier. I felt like my lungs just opened up and I could be so expansive, you know? I don't know how that goes along with the sentinel energy of it.
Well, you were talking about scanning the horizon. That's a very expanded view.
This is true. This is true. It did really open when I smelled it. See, I'm not even opening these for this little exercise we're doing, right? I'm just holding the closed bottles. But when I smelled it the last time, I just thought, oh my God, if I ever had any sort of lung congestion ever again, I will just be like, with the lemon, because I just felt it opening my lungs so much. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know lemon's also really good for cleaning. You can make cleaning products out of it.
It's well, all the citruses are very energizing, enlivening. It will get anything sticky off anything. Like if you've got anything stuck to anything that you don't want to have stuck, the lemon will.
The lemon does it.
A tiny amount of it will take it off.
I'm not surprised because really, my hand, I can still feel my hand.
It's super powerful and very versatile. Lots and lots of things.
Do you have any idea how many lemons it takes to make that little bottle?
Lots. I'm not sure, but do you remember, Liz? She's gonna look it up.
We're gonna look it up in the book.
In fact, yeah, have a look and see what. I think the single oils are this way. Yeah. What else they have in there that may correlate to what Veronica was feeling there? Let's see.
Oh, here, what does it say?
45 lemons.
45 lemons.
45.
Yeah. So you know, if you just take the smallest amount of lemon juice into your mouth, it makes you go, right?
Yeah.
So then you take 45 lemons and somehow squish all of it down into that through their amazing process that they do with this stuff. Yeah, no wonder.
This has,
I don't want to hold it anymore. I'm like, what was I thinking?
It doesn't have the citric acid in anymore. So you know, if you squeeze lemons in your water in the morning, the citric acid can sometimes be a bit distressing on your digestive system. But this doesn't have it. So you're getting the therapeutic effects of the oil without the citric acid.
It doesn't really do your taxes, though. That was me just making a
It
little
might
joke.
energize you enough to
There
do
you
taxes.
go. I mean, and this is maybe a good thing. All right, we're going to do another one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one? Let's see which one she's got for me next.
What shall I do?
Okay, well, this one's not making me freak out, so that's nice for me. We'll see what it does. This makes me want to whisper secrets in the hallway. I don't know why. I want to like, you know, like when I just keep seeing like little 8-year-old girls when they've gotten together, you know, and they're like, yeah, it's like a whisper secrets in the hallway. But sort of the innocence, you know, the innocence of having, I mean, look at the smile, right? My cheeks are getting sore from smiling so big. It's like that time when, you know, the secrets of little girls shared. What a funny.
That is so funny.
What an interesting way to describe. I have no idea what this one is because I'm, you know, like still doing it with my hand closed. But hang on, let's see if there's just an innocence and a problem-free sort of feeling, like a lightness, like I don't have a lot of weight on my shoulders or a lot of burdens or a lot of worries or troubles, and just what is happening right now is magical. It's like I'm having a magical little moment with my friends, or with the sense of well-being. Yeah. And not burdened by the weight of life.
Perfect. Well, that's deep blue.
Oh, deep blue. Oh my God. Deep blue. This one is just, let me show you guys this one. Deep blue. So Liz gave me a rub that has deep blue in it. That's really amazing for muscle soreness or stiffness and some other things, I'm sure, too, because boy, it's I have to say this one is you know, the frankincense is so complex, whereas this one is just kind of mystical. I mean, it's like, it feels like it has some mystical properties, and I don't use that word lightly, because every time I encounter it, I feel like it kind of meets the need. You know, like, what are we doing today? The three of us are here. We had dinner together. We had a giggle, right? And so that sort of lightness of being, you know, we didn't talk about anything heavy. We got to spend this time together, and we're doing this fun little thing, and, you know, drinking our tea. And so it meets that need. Yeah. But the other day when I was at your house with your mom, she has arthritis, as we were talking, I found myself rubbing the bottle all along all of my joints in my hand, just like this. As we were talking, I didn't even know I was doing it until I caught myself doing it, rubbing it along.
You hadn't even met my mom.
And I hadn't met her mom. And her mom came out, and we were talking, and she's like, oh yeah, I have arthritis, and you just told me
in her hand
that left hand is the hand that's bad for her arthritis. So I don't know, there's something. I told Liz this the other day. I was like, I just need to spend a lot of time with that and see, because there's something underneath that's the machine of it, and I haven't yet gotten this one. This one is the mystery one for me. I have the rub, and even when I'm not experiencing soreness, I find myself putting it on like here and here to where's the camera? Here and here, and just I want it to on my body a lot.
You know what I would really like to do is look up all the things that are in it and give them to you.
Yeah, do it separate. I would love. We should do another video where we do that, because I would love to get to the bottom of this. Yeah. Because as the first time I smelled the deep blue rub, do you want to grab the deep blue rub? It's on my dresser, and that way I can show it. The first time I smelled the deep blue rub, I was sort of like, it's kind of got that mentholyptus sort of sports rubby kind of smell at first. And then I was like, but. There was a big but involved. This is the, that's the rub. Comes in this nice blue tube. And I was like, there's something else going on. There's something going on. There's something going on. And then I put it, you know, like I said, on these different spots in my body, hoping I could figure out what the underneath was. But, you know, it's got a ton of different ingredients in it because it's this rub form.
That's right.
So the actual oil, being in the presence of the oil, it's interesting that I've had really different responses to it every time I've picked it up. Each time it's been really different, but it's matched what was going on.
Right.
I did not know your mom was even in your house
Right.
because she was visiting.
She appeared.
I did not know she was there. I did not know she had arthritis.
Yeah.
And yet, here we are having this, we had this experience. Then here we are, the three of us together, kind of having this girly time, which, you know, is really nice to have.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's what's coming up.
That's what came up. So
really cool.
There's something to this one. I'm going to have to get myself a big bottle of that and just see what happens when I experience it, because there's something going on there, folks.
So this is one of the oils in there.
Oh, this one that you're handing me. Okay.
And it's a very amazing one. So I'm interested to see.
Okay, let's see what this one is. Ooh, see me? Look at my head. There's like this introspection, deep, 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 deep. Ooh, look at that. Deep, 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 deep. All the. So, wow. Woo, woo. Deep, deep. I couldn't lift my head right now if I wanted to. Introspection, and I bet this would give you amazing dreams. I wonder if this one in the lavender would be good for going to bed.
I wonder if it's in serenity.
God, I just want to. I'm looking at this like this. My body wants to do this and do a ball. Yeah. Wow. This one's cool. Yeah. I try to sit up and I keep curling. It just feels like it just goes in introspection, but not thinking. Physically physically in. I'm not surprised to hear this isn't. This is, you said it's in the rub.
It's in the oil.
It's in the oil itself. So it's in the rub because it's in the oil, which is in the rub. Yeah. Which one is it?
That's Helichrysum.
Oh, this is the one you thought might be the one that I was tracking.
Yeah.
This was Liz's guess when I said there's something in that deep blue. She said, I bet it's
Helichrysum.
Helichrysum. Who's even heard of that?
So apparently it's often hand-picked on the island of Corsica. I didn't know that.
Hand-picked on Corsica. Okay.
But it is amazing. They say it's healing, fusing, and regenerating. It takes you from wounded to reassured emotionally, apparently is what it is. I've experienced it myself. They say they use it as liquid stitches on Corsica. I've experienced it stopping blood flow immediately. I sliced the end of my finger off and put a drop on it, just coagulated. So it does lots of cool physical things, but I don't know too much about it emotionally and energetically, except I'm getting an idea.
So I decided to smell this one because I've never even heard of it before, and immediately I just had this. I mean, you know how we talked about how peppermint, I felt like put the wheels on the car, right? And carried that feels true, of course, but this feels like, you know, pushing it in, pushing in. I'm impressed. This one is very, very cool, and it's powerful in a not in a like the lemon. Remember how overstimulating the lemon was? Yeah. This is more just like.
So the flower is bright yellow, and I have heard people say that that's actually the gold that was given as a gift with the frankincense and the myrrh. It was Helichrysum oil, and not actual gold, because it was very, very precious. It is very precious, and it was very expensive. And
I wouldn't be surprised, because if you took, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to, like, you know, go off the edge here, but if you took that Helichrysum and that frankincense and had them together,
well, that makes me want to give you myrrh to try.
Do you have myrrh?
Yes,
of course she has myrrh.
Of course I have.
Okay. What? Let's just, you know. Okay. So this was the Helichrysum. Where's the frankincense?
Here's the frankincense.
Okay.
And here's the myrrh.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I think so. Wow. I'm really moved. Like, it feels profound. It feels sacred. It feels, I could cry and like I feel honored.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Very, very powerful. And it's one of the thickest resins of all the oils. So to me, that's always really gratifying when you try to pour it and it does seem a little
goopy around the edges too. If you guys can see, it's kind of got goopy around the edge. Wow. Okay, I set it back down.
So they're saying,
so I'm holding back tears from touching the Myrrh.
There's a little note down here that says myrrh means bitter and was referred to in the Bible as the balm of Gilead. It was given as a gift to the Christ child and also presented at his death to be used prior to burial. So it is a very moving sacred oil. That's
amazing. I mean, wow. If I had kept holding it, I would have started weeping. Yeah. It's
like an appropriate response.
Yeah. It feels very sacred, I think is a reasonable word for it. And also just, let me see. Yeah, like, that sense of being honored to be in the presence of something that you admire or respect and respect and yeah, no wonder. They picked well when they gave the myrrh and the frankincense, and if that's the gold, which I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it would be very interesting to hold all three of them. I'm not going to because it's so emotional for me. I kind of don't want to have, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But imagine for ceremonial purposes having those three and being able to, even just create your own ceremony and introduce those, even just holding them, but applying them or there are Egyptian paintings, hieroglyphics that show the priests wearing caps of myrrh, caps made out of myrrh that as they heated up would run down their face and anoint them as they were doing ceremony. Can you imagine?
Whoa! That gave me chills. Oh my god! I mean, wow! Yeah. I'm so shocked by that one.
Yeah. You could see how you could actually form something out of it. It's very thick and resiny and gummy.
Yeah. See if I don't know if they can see that but she peeled off some leftover on the side. None of the rest of them have that.
No.
It's just
like the thickest, most,
wow.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's literally, it's literally chunky.
It is, yeah.
I didn't even smell it. Maybe I should smell it. Yeah, I'll let you hold it, but I'll smell it.
It's kind of amazing. It's another tomb, isn't it? You open it up.
I was just gonna say it is like in similar to frankincense. That's the other one that I immediately thought that it would be really good for any sort of work you're doing with what we call alternate expressions, but most people call past lives. This is absolutely incredibly powerful for past life work. I can tell you that right now. Wow.
Yeah.
You got all of them.
I know, I do.
How many do you have?
I have a lot.
We should hold up, show them the treasure box that she's got here.
So we've taken a whole bunch of them out.
Yeah, but
this is what I carry them around.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, woo!
I love my oils. I love them. Love them, love them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is absolutely stunningly amazing.
Ooh, I want to see how you react to this one. Can we do one more?
Sure, why not? Let's do another one. I was just holding on to my desk when I'm holding this one. I had to reach out and steady myself. Let's see what this one's all about.
This is so fun to watch.
Why am I doing that?
What was it that made you salivate earlier? It was
Digestzen. Yeah, well, we should tell them that story next. Yeah.
Better still, we'll give it to you.
Oh yeah, we can watch me slobber some more. The digestive one made me slobber. I keep doing that with my jaw. I don't know why. That thing. My teeth are chattering together.
Oh, that's so interesting. I'll tell you why.
Like if the physical reactions I have are the physical reactions I have when I'm really cold, but I'm not cold right now. You know, it's not a cold day and we've got this light shining on us and I'm not cold at all. In fact, I'm probably a little warm, but see, I'm shaking like I'm cold and my teeth are chattering like I'm cold and I feel like I should be cold, but I'm not here. I'm done being the guinea pig for the one that makes me feel cold.
So this is Roman chamomile. And
Roman chamomile. There's so many of them.
And what that was making me think of is that the reason it's called Roman chamomile is Roman soldiers used to use it for courage before battle.
Oh, wow.
So when they were in a state of like, about to go to battle, this would be what fortified them. Yeah. It's
interesting. So it's so interesting to me to discover the energetics, of course, because that's how I navigate the world. But, you know, they've done a lot of research and had, you know, a lot of people's own experiences with healing and physical things. But to discover the energetic and then to see how to work with that energetic. Like, okay, it made me feel like I was cold. Would I have then known that that'd be good for someone who was burned? I might not have put that together. So that's why it's really neat to have the book, let's just call it the stuff that's in the book, right? Where it explains what people have experienced and what the scientists have discovered with the molecules that are involved. And then to tie the energetic into it, it might open up ideas about how to use them, or it confirms some things, which is fun. Yeah, like with the deep blue, I'm telling you, there's something going on in there that maybe people don't even know. Like, I can tell. This is what I do, and I know about this energetic thing, and I am on a hunt with this deep blue thing. I'm going to figure it out, because now it's like niggling at me, you know. And so, yeah, I don't know. There's no conclusion here. It's just sort of a, you know,
ongoing process.
It's just experiencing and exploring, right? We're just exploring, but here I am, literally chattering my teeth, feeling cold, and they're using this for burn victims.
Yeah, and while your teeth were chattering, it didn't even occur to me that that just came out of my mouth right then, because it literally just happened 2 days ago. Yeah. Today I ordered her the oil and I sent it overnight to her, so tomorrow she can put it on her son, who is burning. So, or was burning.
And that gave me chills all over my body, which is fun too.
Yeah. So I think that the energetic aspect is the least explored. It's the thing we know least about. And opening up that dimension is going to be incredible for people. There's just so many ways people can use them. And as you experienced, when you're working with it energetically, you don't even always need to open the bottle.
No.
You can just have the bottle, hold the bottle. Even a drop. I mean, a drop is so powerful. A drop of peppermint oil has the same therapeutic value as 26 cups of peppermint tea.
I am not surprised.
So just, even just putting a toothpick in the bottle and adding it, stirring it in your water, you're going to get a massive dose. Yeah,
that makes sense to me. I, as we shared earlier, the peppermint was the first one where I was just shocked at how powerful just this teeny, I showed it earlier, but let's show it again because you brought peppermint up. No, that's not it. We had to read the labels. Oops, we're going to get there.
The last
one. Yeah, it was the last one. She put them alphabetically, but of course I just assumed peppermint was A. I don't know. But see, it was just this teeniest little bottle. I don't know if people can see how little the oil was in there that I had, and in that case I did smell it because, I didn't know I didn't need to. Yeah. And it was just like, are you kidding me? And that's what made me say, wait a minute, something's going on here. And then when we did the tea tree oil one, I was like, hold the horses. There's something not small happening here. This is not a small thing.
Yeah.
And as we've shown today, oh, you know, we should do the digestion and see if it makes me slobber again.
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
So fun.
Okay, well, so I'm not going to do this for very long, but I immediately salivate as soon as I pick this one. As soon as I pick it up, I feel like I want to dry my tongue off with a towel because I just start, my whole underneath my tongue is filled with saliva as soon as I touch that. So, I mean, that's how you digest your food, right? Is all that's, yeah. So, yeah, that's a real thing right there is what I'm saying. And I'm going to drink a little tea. Maybe it'll slobber all my slobber down so I won't be slobbering so much on myself. But wow, that was, yeah.
And so when you think about, you know, shifting the energetics for yourself, people often say, well, you know, I'm fine, but my husband is blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, my kid's grumpy or my whatever. And so I think one of the really brilliant things that you can do with oils is diffuse them through the air, because you can affect the energetics of an entire room, a classroom. I have teachers who use them in their classrooms, really quickly and really painlessly. You know, it can just totally shift the balance of a room.
Digestion made me slobber and belch. So there you go. It's a twofer for everyone who cares to be involved.
Don't tell us what happens next.
No, no one needs to know about the rest of it. That's really cool because one of the things that we work on a lot is this idea of matching energy, right? So if you are feeling normal and you walk into a room where people are arguing, chances are you're going to pick up on some of that. You don't have to be very sensitive to have this happen, but if you are sensitive, it can be devastating, right? And so a lot of the things that we work on are standing in your own energy, and allowing people to match energy with you rather than you matching energy with them.
Nice. Yeah.
And what I'm feeling as you were talking about, you know, when families, or usually the mom comes to me and says, I have problems with my kid, or I have problems with my husband, or I have problems with all of them. You know, we work on the mom because she's the one on the phone, and we talk about how you can stand in your own energy, know your truth, have boundaries, reinforce those boundaries without having to get completely angry, you know, all these sorts of exercises. And it just occurs to me that using these oils in this way, the family gets the benefit even if the mom's the only one using them. You know, if they don't want it diffused, or they don't like the smell or whatever, still the transformation that you make individually affects your relationships completely. This is not a question. This is a fact. And so working on yourself and the way that issues with others are represented in your life, you know, when you see conflict, where are you conflicted within? Are you at battle with yourself? Are you being mean to yourself? You know, the healing that you do within ripples out, emanates out to the other relationships in your life. And even people that you don't even notice that you've affected can be affected by this very, very, very powerfully. You know, we all have those experiences where you meet somebody and you just, ships passing in the night, but they affect your trajectory so powerfully. And it just occurs to me that working with oils in this way can really start to shift the energetic, shift the emanation, transform relationships.
Absolutely. And I'm realizing as you say that the physical component of that is very easy to track. That's what they've tracked so far, the physical component. For example, they have found that people who have significant adverse childhood experiences, you know, they call them ACEs, have particular neural patternings that mean they're much more prone to anxiety, depression, addiction, heart disease. And the oils, they found that if they use the oils consistently, it actually offers the brain a new neural pathway. And so that's the physical component of what you're talking about, because it offers us a new energetic pathway too. And so things that feel like they've been part of your habitual response forever and ever actually do get a chance to shift very naturally and easily. And so people often find that they need a certain oil for a certain length of time, and then they've shifted and they don't need it anymore.
That is so fabulously interesting. And I wonder if the way people perceive oils shifts as they change. Have you heard of that? Like, like they experience an oil that, let's say, they just adore the smell of, and then all of a sudden they're just like, I'm not attracted to this.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It
same
happens
thing.
all the time.
Yeah.
And oils that I have never been drawn to, never liked the smell of. There'll come a moment where I need it. I'll reach over to my oils, which I like to do, and I go, which one do I need? And it'll just smell amazing to me. Yeah.
That makes complete sense to me too, because it is really true that we tend to reuse our neural pathways.
Yeah.
We tend to operate very habitually.
Yeah.
And anything that can support breaking out of those neural pathways that were really based in childhood or early adult. You know, one of the things we talk about a lot is, would you want the 11-year-old version of you raising your kid? No,
really good
of
question.
course you don't. Yet,
Yeah.
even though so many people will take so many classes and read so many books and talk to so many teachers, they're still letting the habitual patterns of childhood dictate their behavior.
Yeah.
So we have to break out of that and start using the current version of ourselves to navigate this now. And if these oils, which it sounds like you've had experience that they're doing, are actually supportive of snapping out of one neural pathway stream and allowing you to access new neural pathways that are being laid down as the current version of you in this now. Oh my, let's do that every day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And so I have people who, and I do this too, you know, some days I'll just want to smell the oil, put it on me. Some days I'll just want to diffuse it. Some days I won't want it near me at all. But just listening to your impulse for when you need them and how you need them.
Immediately, I can't open my eyes. I feel just that I don't want anything from outside of me. Right? I don't need any stimulus. I just want to be on the inside of my eyelids, which is a very weird thing to say. I'm pretty sure I've never said that in my entire life. But all I want to do is be inside my eyelids right now. I really, honestly, that's my entire world, is the inside of my eyelids. What a strange and wonderful feeling that is. Yeah, I can totally feel how this would be really good for that sort of, I want to rewrite my story energy. You know, I want to rewrite my story. And the way I'm going to rewrite my story is to just kind of watch the inside of my eyelids, which of course can't see anything. Perfect. I don't want to see anything. I want to just have a blank slate as I rewrite the story.
Right.
Yeah. What a nice, this is a nice one.
Yeah, it's really, really strong. It's one that I know people won't leave the house without. Once people
they get into it,
find it, they're like, oh, do you want to smell it?
That would be like one that if sure.
Whew, I love that smell.
Well, I also got the feeling of like if someone was gonna have a weekend alone or a little silent retreat or meditation retreat, that this would definitely support that.
Yeah, they developed it more as a kind of an oil they call it console because it's sort of for grief and heartache.
That's another blend, right?
Yeah, so I guess maybe people might have been confused because some of the oils you've been holding are single oils, some are blends. doTERRA makes their own blends, so if we've said names that seem strange, that's probably because they're blends.
And how many do you think they have?
I should know the numbers. There are at least 20 single oils, I believe, and probably around that many blends. And they do come out with new ones from time to time. But all of them, whether they're blends or single oils, are 100% pure oil. There's nothing added. They're certified free of all fillers and pesticides and additives. And now, in fact, you can go to their website and look at your bottle of oil and type in the lot number from the bottom of the oil, and you'll get a readout of the test results for that particular batch.
That's cool.
So they're ridiculously committed to the purity. So that's why I feel okay ingesting them, and I wouldn't with any other oils. I just don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't know for sure that they're pure. Whereas I do know these are. So even though they're blends of oils. They're not blends of oil and something else.
Ah, that's a good point to make.
Yeah,
I watched a video the other day where the main scientist dude talked, and
Dr. Hill.
Dr. Hill. this main scientist dude, apparently is named Dr. Hill. Anyway,
the chief medical officer.
Yeah, I got my science geek on hard because, you know, he's talking about all the mass spectrometers, and it's basically like a you know, like a TV show with all that equipment that they usually are using to solve crimes. He's using to make sure that the oil is super pure, and you know, testing other oils from other companies and seeing, you know, what they're up to and what additives they're adding. And it was actually quite shocking.
Yeah, it is shocking
how different it was, you know. And he's like, well, see that little spike right there? See, here's ours, here's theirs. There's a little spike there that means there's something else in there. I was like, there's something else in there. I can see the graph. Anyway, it was a fun video for me because I really enjoy the science part of things. And you know, so here's the thing. They make these blends, and they're making the blends based on the experiences they've had with people reporting their effects and probably molecular structure. But how about the energetics?
Right.
That's what's very fascinating.
See, so they need you on their board of directors to
be like, hi.
On their medical board, yeah. Because you know, there is obviously a correlation. So you can be pretty sure if something does something physically and emotionally, it's going to do a similar thing energetically. So they probably pieced together the energetics by mistake. Yeah. But imagine coming at it the other way around. Yeah, because when you start with the energetics, see, the thing about energetics is they're underneath everything else. So that's why it's so powerful to work with the energetics of things. And not everybody is sensitive to them or knows how to work with them. But I've spent, you know, basically my whole life doing this. And that's why this has been such a fun experiment for me, is to kind of turn loose my sensitivities on something that I've never had any exposure to. I mean, it's been, what, 2 weeks that I've even known about this. So letting myself, instead of always having to pull my sensitivities back in, which is how I navigate my entire life, constantly pulling it in and constantly realizing, oh, I'm picking up on energy from other people, or I'm picking up on energy from places. I mean, I have had multiple times where I'm driving in the car with somebody else, I'm talking to them, and I say, I've been here before, without even knowing where I am. Even physical locations, I can feel a sense of connection to, that I'm like, oh yeah, that's why it feels this way, because it felt this way that time. Right? So this is this constant monitoring and vigilance I've had to learn. And it was not easy to learn. It took many, many years. Oh, sure. And so for me to just be like, sure, hand me that oil and let's see what I get, it's such a freeing experience. And it's trippy. I mean, it's shocking really cool. and curious in all sorts of good ways. So I was thinking now might be a really good time for you to talk about if people want these products and how they access them. Because it's the way doTERRA does it, it's not like you walk into a store and buy them. Right. And so they set up their business model very purposefully to be that way. The oils are so complex, and each one has a learning curve to it, that they really wanted to make sure that people were not just buying them off a shelf and going home and using them once and maybe using them incorrectly and then not knowing what to do with them. So they created this business model, and they call it the me-to-me business model, where we actually sit together and I say, you know, what's going on with you, and you tell me, and we work out which oils you need, and then I'm here to carry on supporting you as you use them. And so it's really set up as this incredible model that works really well for women in particular, which is we're all supporting each other, connected with each other, helping each other. And so when you buy the oils, you have to buy them through a distributor. For that reason, they didn't want them on a shelf, so you have to buy them through someone who is a distributor with doTERRA. And then once you do that, you are then in the team, and you get to access all the team wisdom and turn to people for help or advice, or not, as you know, need it or don't. But they would talk to me, or you know, anyone they know who's a doTERRA distributor, and they would get help. I've been really enjoying the Facebook group that you connected me with, where, you know, folks just say, hey,
this is going on with me. And people who have experience with the oils say, this is what worked for me when I had something similar happen. Just like your story of your friend's son who was burned, right? It's like, it's anecdotal. However, if, you know, you say, I have this issue, and 10 people say, I used this oil and it went away, that sure gives you confidence to try. Because I think for some people, maybe most people, it's a kind of an unusual idea.
Yeah.
There's a little bottle of oil. It smells nice, and somehow it's going to help me with X, Y, and Z. That's not necessarily the first place that most people go to when they're having pain or struggling emotionally.
Right. And yet it's the place that any of us that have been using the oils for a while go to first.
Yeah.
Because there literally is nothing I have experienced that they cannot help with.
Wow.
I mean, literally nothing. From the moment I get up in the morning to the moment I go to bed at night. If something goes on with me or my kids or my partner, that's the first place we all turn. We all go, is there an oil that can help with that? And there always is. Usually more than one. So short of an accident that requires stitches or a hospital visit, we address pretty much everything now with these. And so that's that takes a little time to get accustomed to using them in that way. And so yes, a lot of people in doTERRA have created Facebook groups where you can go and get that kind of information. Ours is a particularly amazing one, and I'm not just saying that, it really is, because there are about 800 of us now from all over the world on this one Facebook group where, and it's aromatherapists and you know, regular people and nurses and all sorts of people.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, any time of the day or night, you can go on there and say, this is going on, what should I do? And someone around the world will be awake and will reply, and often more than one person. And so we've built up this incredible kind of library of shared knowledge and support.
Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference, I think, because you end up feeling not just like, you know, I can't even remember the days when I was on my own and in the world and didn't know what to do if something went wrong physically. You know, I just don't even remember that, because now I feel so confident that I have this whole group of people around me who have got, you know, there's so much to know with the oil. So not everybody can hold all that knowledge. So that person has this knowledge and this person has this one, and we pool it all. And I just, it's an amazing feeling to know that that's my toolkit, you know. That's really beautiful. Yeah.
That's really, really beautiful. So if anybody watching the video wanted to get more involved, to learn more, to purchase the oils, to be part of this team you're talking about, what would be the thing for them to do?
They would reach out to you, I would think.
Okay.
And then you will connect them with us.
Okay.
And we will help them. We will talk to them.
How easy is that?
We are happy to do Zoom calls, Skype calls, phone calls. Really what's best is for us to get an idea of what the needs are.
Sure.
So, you know, some people are happy just to write and say, look, I've got this going on. What oil would I need? But it's so much nicer to have an actual conversation. It can be 10 or 15 minutes. And because oftentimes I'll be amazed. I'll say to someone, you know, do you have anything going on? And they'll say, no, I'm fine. And 10 minutes later, out comes this thing that's a problem, and they hadn't seen it or thought about it. But because I don't think we're used to thinking about the oils as being that versatile.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So there's a lot of things they can help with that you may not even ever have thought of. Really, you name it. It can help.
Do you have some favorite stories of things that you've seen happen?
Well, I've got one that's so super cool because it happened to me.
Oh, that's great.
Just this last month. And Liz has heard it before. But it's kind of, you know, it was important to me. So about 2.5 months ago now, I started to notice a new mole on the side of my face. And it just, you know, was this little brown patch that hadn't been there before. One day it was suddenly there. And so I just watched it. I had a grandma with skin cancer, so I used to see a lot of what went on with her. So, you know, over the month and a half, it got a little darker and a little bigger. And then all of a sudden one morning, I felt it and it had changed shape. And so for a couple of days, I just kept feeling it and it kept getting bigger and bigger. It wasn't huge. It was quite small, but it had changed very rapidly.
Mm.
So of course I Googled it, and
You saw all the scary pictures.
I did.
Yes.
And you know, what that seemed to suggest was the very fastest growing, very most malignant moles look exactly like that and act exactly like that. So I made an appointment with the doctor, who said, sure, I'll send you to the dermatologist, but we've got a 2 to 3 week referral process. So
well, you've got this thing on the side of your face.
And all I can do is feel it and think about it, and you know. So anyway, I called one of my partner friends in doTERRA, and I said, what would you do? Because I had, for a couple of days before I went to the doctor, I had thought to myself, well, I know thyme oil works. I mean, they're doing a lot of research with thyme oil in breast cancer cells. So I was like, okay, cancer cells, it's probably going to be helpful. So I'd been putting thyme oil on. There'd been no change. But my friends actually looked in this book.
Nope, we have to, it's, the light makes it hard to read.
Here we go. And she said, okay, try this blend. What the book said was a blend with DDR. So that and a little blend of sandalwood, geranium, and frankincense in a roller bottle. Sandalwood, geranium, and frankincense. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why those three in particular, but it was those three. Okay. And so every hour or two, I just had this feeling it needed to go on often, a little bit often. I put the DDR prime, followed by the, you know, just a drop on my finger or the other, every hour or two. At the end of the first day, I could feel there was a difference. I wasn't fully trusting it yet. By the end of the second day, things had clearly changed. By the end of the 7th day, it had practically disappeared. And by the end of the 9th day, this is what was left. Nothing. 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 Gone. And I took photos every single day so that I could track it. Nothing. I mean, my skin is brand new.
It looks completely like nothing ever was there.
That was 8 days from start to finish till it was utterly gone. So. That's my little exciting anecdote for the month. Yeah, and so, you know, that knowing, that and the day it fully disappeared, I got my referral letter to the dermatologist.
You're like, thanks, that's great. So, guess what? Don't need you anymore. Thanks.
I'm actually going to go to the appointment. I called them up and she said, do you have a fast-growing mole that you're worried about? And I said, well, I did. She said, okay, well, our next appointment's in 2 months' time. So I said, okay, that's fine. But I'm going to take them the photos and I'm going to take them the oil and they'll probably not pay any attention. But, you know, who knows? It's starting to be much more of a possibility that the oils show up in medical establishments. And if this saves somebody from surgery and anguish and fear and distress, I mean, I saved myself 2 weeks of absolute fear and anxiety and worry and, you know.
That is a wonderful
Not to mention
story.
A biopsy and whatever.
Oh else yeah, you know what else are they going to do?
Yeah,
and that's amazing. Yeah. Really great.
I can show you the pictures.
We're going to see the pictures.
Yeah,
that is cool. Yeah,
and so that, you know, I could think of so many stories like that from myself and my friends who have just tried them because they were either at their wits' end and nothing else had worked, or hadn't tried anything and thought they might as well give it a go. Yeah. And it works every single time. And if it doesn't work with the first few oils you try, there's going to be a particular combination that it does work with. So sometimes it takes a little trial and error to find that combination, but once you do, it is almost miraculous every single time. I've experienced it to be.
Right? And having the resources of, like we talked about, the Facebook group and the other people on the team to say, you know, this is what's going on for me. And I've just been amazed on the Facebook group at the wide variety of things people ask about.
Oh yeah, everything.
I mean, it's just literally everything you could imagine. Just you know.
Right, and so you can also go into the, you know, you can search the files because it's all in there. So you know, somebody will have answered a question similar, or asked a question similar.
And it's so nice to see people, like the one that I searched for. My mom has migraines, and so I looked at the migraine one, and it was really interesting for me to see that it wasn't one person saying, "Oh yeah, try this." It was 10. I mean, people going, "Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, that one worked for me too." And just to have that sort of, I mean, even if it was just some average thing, like, you know, what do you use to clean the toilet? You'd be happy to get 10 people that agreed. Like, you know,
Right.
you go on Amazon to buy something
It's
and you're
true.
so happy if like 10 people say it's good. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm there. That's my thing.
Mhm.
But to have something so personal, like you
Yeah.
said, with a thing growing on your face and you're thinking, I don't know what's happening and
Yeah.
I've got kids and I don't want this to be
Right.
scary bad.
Right.
And have a whole bunch of people going, this is what I did and it worked
Yeah.
for me. Just that sense of camaraderie and confidence, and I'm not in this alone,
Right.
like you said.
It's
I
a
think it's a
tremendous
really
thing.
beautiful,
It is.
really, really beautiful. Yeah.
It is, and it's sort of unprecedented, and it's you know, hopefully a model that's going to become more and more familiar to us. But I know that as well as that, our team has worked very hard to come up with classes, online classes for people for free, you know. So they're really wanting and talking about trying to be kind of a world-class educational source. So really your potential for learning about them is limited only by your time and energy, because there's enormous offering.
And what did you say? The goal is a healer in every home.
Yeah, that's
I love
doTERRA's
that.
mission, is
A
to have a
healer.
healer in every home.
Isn't
Yeah.
that gorgeous? I mean, the idea that we can have that power within ourselves to not just change our thoughts or change our patterns or our habits, but to actually have an effect on our physical and emotional lives right in our own medicine cabinet that's not filled with medicine.
Right. Right. And especially, you know, for people with kids, I have 3 of very different ages, and to know that I don't have to give them drugs or chemicals, or, you know, obviously there's times where that's necessary, but on an everyday basis, if they have a stomachache, if they have a headache, if they have flu, if they have a fever, if they have a sore tooth, if they have a wart, which we've done, if they've got migraines, you know, we have what will help them. If they can't get up in the morning because they're tired and grumpy, I have something that will help. I have several things that will help, and diffusing Motivate in the kitchen is really a wonderful thing to do. So that is super empowering.
Yeah.
And before then, you know, what would I have done? I might have Googled something. I might have gone to the chemist and tried to mix together my own baking soda and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Or tried homeopathics, which I'm not really qualified to comment on. It's just I never could see if they worked or not really fully. I mean, sometimes they just was never evident enough for me. So having something that's really tangible, really evident, really you see the results right away, and they're safe, and then you're not going to get addicted, and you're not going to accidentally overdose, and you're not going to, you know, have any antibiotic resistant thing happen. And so yeah, I think they're a game changer for families, for women, for all of us. Yeah.
Wow. Well, wasn't that very cool? All of that, the whole thing. I loved every minute of it, and I'm very happy that we had the opportunity to be here with Terri and Liz and talk about this and let my sensitivities roam free and have experiences all the way from, where did we do? Where I was cold. I had almost tears with the myrrh. We had the sentinel. We had the
highly energized lemon.
The highly energized lemon. Oh my gosh, that was really intense. Yeah, we had a nice range of experiences here. We talked about the peppermint. We talked about the
lavender.
The sleepy. Oh, that's right, the sleepy lavender. So I had an incredible range of experiences just in this short time that we've been on the video. So I do hope that you will explore the oils and connect with us to learn more and take that opportunity to be your healer in your home. I think that's a great, that's a great way to say it. Yeah. All right, everybody, thanks again for joining us. Check the description of the video and or the links below for more details on how to get connected with us.
Bye.